Welcome students, welcome to the third part of my video, Revolt of 1857 or Uprising of 1857. We'll now see what are the causes of failure of Uprising of 1857. हमारा जो uprising था 1857 का और Revolt of 1857, ये क्यों नहीं हमें अंग्रेजों को हम क्यों उन्हें मार कर हमें उनको भगा नहीं दिए, ये अपराइजिंग क्यों हम जीत नहीं पाए, यह हम देखेंगे। इस वीडियो में हम दोनों हिंदी और अंग्रेजी में हम बोलेंगे। The first cause is the revolt was localized and not countrywide. अगर हम लोग देखेंगे कुछ भाग नॉर्थ इंडिया के, वहां पे लोग अंग्रेजों के खिलाफ लड़ाई की, और जब हम साउथ की तरफ जाएंगे, हम इस मैप में हम देखेंगे कि जहां पे ट्रायंगल दिखाया गया है वहां पे सब रिवोल्ट हुआ है। देखिए, द रिवोल्ट वाज लोकलाइज्ड, मतलब हर जगह नहीं था, थोड़ी जगह था। अगर ये रिवोल्ट पूरी भारत में फैल जाता तो हम अंग्रेज को यहां से मार भगाते, यानी उसमें कोई दो राय नहीं है, क्योंकि ये जो रिवोल्ट था चंद लोगों ने किया, जैसे दिल्ली में रायबरेली, ग्वालियर, झांसी, कानपुर, लखनऊ, आजमगढ़, पटना, ये सब जगह हो गया, बारकपुर, थोड़े जगह पे। अगर ये पूरे देश में अगर फैलता तो हम अंग्रेजों को मार भगाते। The second point is why the revolt failed. The revolt began prematurely. The whole program arranged as it was came to nothing on account of rising take place prematurely and before the date fixed for the purpose. You know, the date fixed for the simultaneous rising in the country was 31st May 1857. The date was known only to the leaders and organization centers and 3 officers of each regiment. But Mangal Pandey was tried and was ordered to be hanged. The soldiers of 19th and 34th Indian Regiment was disbanded. Subedar of 34th Regiment was hanged, made the soldiers impatient for the rebellion and so on. तो ये चंद घटनाओं के कारण क्या हुआ, हमारे जो इंडियन आर्मी थी, इंडियन लोग थे ब्रिटिश आर्मी में, वे लोग उत्सुक हुए और अंग्रेजों के खिलाफ लड़ाई की। सुपेरियरिटी ऑफ इंग्लिश इन मेनी फील्ड्स। अभी हम देखेंगे, तुलना करेंगे भारत ये लोगों के साथ अंग्रेज के लोग। The resources of the British imperialism was unlimited. Fortunately for them, Crimean War and other wars in which the Britishers were involved out of India had come to an end by 1856. 1856 में क्या हुआ, जितने भी लड़ाइयाँ थी जिसमें ब्रिटिश इन्वॉल्व थे, वो सभी वो लोग जीत कर आए और पूरे खत्म हो गए। इसके लिए वे लोग 1857 को अच्छी तरह से वो कंसंट्रेट कर पाए और हमें हरा पाए। British army was excessive in number and was brought into India in large number from different parts of the world, and more soldiers were recruited in India itself for the suppression of mutiny. केवल वो अपने देश से लोगों को नहीं लाए, हमारे देश में भी हमारे भारतीयों को उन्होंने रिक्रूट किया और अपराइजिंग जो आया उसे सप्रेस करने के लिए हम भारतीय लोगों से उन्होंने मदद भी ली. ब्रिटिश हैड सुपीरियर वेपन. British has modern gun rifles. India had cannons, which were old and few in numbers, mostly fighting with swords and spears. हमारे पास जो हथियार था, वो हथियार कुछ अगर हम अंग्रेजों के साथ कंपेयर किया जाए, अंग्रेज के हथियार हमसे बढ़कर थे. हमारे पास केवल भाला, तलवार, उससे हम लड़ते थे. The British had superior navy. At the same time, British had superior naval power. उनके पास जो समुद्री ताकत जो था, जो नेवी था, वो बहुत ही अव्वल नंबर का था. The electric system also contributed to the success of British. The system of British commander-in-chief got informations. देखिए उनका कम्युनिकेशन बहुत ही एफिशिएंट था. उनके पास टेलीग्राफ, टेलीग्राम, टेलीफोन सब थे, जिससे वो एक दूसरे से कांटेक्ट में रहते थे. और इस तरह वे लोग अच्छी तरह से एक दूसरे के साथ कम्युनिकेट किए, जो हमारे इंडियन लोगों के पास नहीं था. लैक ऑफ यूनिटी. अब जब हम देखेंगे कि हमारे भारतीय लोग, हमारे भारतीय एकजुट नहीं थे. मैं हिंदू हूं, मैं मुसलमान हूं, मैं सिख हूं, हमारे पास एक मुद्दा नहीं था जिससे हम अपने अंग्रेजों के साथ लड़े. सभी लोग अपने जाति, अपने धर्म को आगे बढ़ाकर देश को पिछड़ा कर दिया. और हम देखेंगे हम एकजुट नहीं थे. इसके लिए अंग्रेजों ने हमसे लड़ाई की और हमें हराया. दूसरा था लैक ऑफ लीडरशिप. यह और एक मुद्दा है. हमारे रीति रिवाज ऐसे हैं कि हम हमारे लीडर को सुनना मुनासिब नहीं समझते. यहाँ पे बहुत से ऐसे महारथी थे, जैसे तात्या टोपे जी, नाना साहेब जी, रानी लक्ष्मीबाई जी, लेकिन उनको सुनने वाला कोई नहीं था. मौलाना अबुल कलाम जी ने लिखा है, मैं आपको अंग्रेजी में पढ़ के सुनाऊंगा. In the light of the available evidence, we are forced to the conclusion that the uprising was a result of careful planning, nor where there was mastermind behind it. ना हमारा प्लानिंग सही था, ना हमारे पास अच्छा लीडर नहीं थे. उसी के कारण क्या हुआ, हम लोग ये अपराइजिंग हार गए. अंग्रेज लोग जीत गए क्योंकि उनके पास प्लानिंग था, उनके पास मॉडर्न वेपन्स थे, उनके पास अच्छे लीडर थे. पर्सनल जेलसी अमंग द म्यूटिनर्स, मतलब हमारे में जितने भी महारथी थे वे एक दूसरे के ऊपर जलते थे और वे लोग एक दूसरे को ना सुनकर अपनी मनमानी करते थे. उसी के कारण क्या हुआ, हम ये अपराइजिंग जीत नहीं पाए. बहादुर शाह जी. I would like to speak about Bahadur Shah. Bahadur Shah, the Mughal emperor, was not prepared for the Great Revolution. He was a very old man of 72. He was not ready to bring revolution which has taken place in the country. On the other hand, 3 years ahead, explicit weight in the competences of emperor who gave it the throne as an emperor of India turned out to be a broken reed. The white dragon now here is now a success, sometimes turning freedom fighters, sometimes efforts of the oppressors. It was not the prejudice, sometimes alleged Muslim movement. It failed because it was disorganized. You know, we had big leaders, but these leaders were not mentally prepared. They were not well planned. And the person whom we selected as the leader to lead the revolt was an old man of 72. And he was also not mentally prepared. As a result of this, the revolt failed. Yes, my dear students, now we will see what are the consequences of the revolt of 1857. What is the result? You know, the consequence or result is both positive and negative. Let me first go to the positive side. हम लोग देखेंगे कि ये रिवोल्ट जो हुआ उसका नतीजा क्या था. दोनों अच्छा और उसका बुरा दोनों भी हम देखेंगे अभी. पहला पॉजिटिव इफेक्ट है ट्रांसफर ऑफ पावर फ्रॉम ईस्ट इंडिया कंपनी टू द ब्रिटिश क्राउन. It was very clear that East India Company, they got into corruption, they were exploiting people, they were doing injustice, and so they transferred the power from East India Company to the British Crown, or I will say the British Parliament. So ये था सबसे पहला पॉजिटिव इफेक्ट. हम देखेंगे कि ईस्ट इंडिया कंपनी जो है लोगों पर अत्याचार ढाल रही है, लोगों को ठीक तरह से देख नहीं रही है. इसके लिए ब्रिटिश पार्लियामेंट ने क्या किया, उन्होंने ईस्ट इंडिया कंपनी का पावर जो था वहाँ के राजा के हाथ में दे दिया. बोला कि अभी आज के बाद ईस्ट इंडिया कंपनी केवल अपना व्यवहार करेगी भारत में, जो उसका देखभाल जो करना है वो केवल ब्रिटिश क्राउन करेगा. सिर्फ वो ही नहीं, we will see the proclamation of Queen's Proclamation of 1858. You know, there was a darbar held at Allahabad on 1st November 1858 where the king or the Governor General of India, Lord Cannon, he read out the Queen's Proclamation. Now let me tell you what was Queen's Proclamation. It is very simple. It is said that all the subjects will be treated equally. They will be given equal chance, whether for education or to do the job. And all the Indian subjects were belonging to the English crown. That was the first promise given by Queen. The second promise is that British will not interfere in the religion of the Indians. Third promise, Britishers will not interfere in the customs and traditions which are followed by the Indian people, like sati, or doing mundan for widows, or a Muslim girl putting burqa, all are allowed. We are not going to, the Queen has given the promise that she will not interfere in the traditions. The traditions will not be questioned. And the fourth promise is based on ability, the jobs will be given to the people. The availability of job will be available only if that person has an ability. There is no need of a person to convert himself to Christianity. He will get the job. So these were the promises made by the Queen. Then home government for India. The other promise, that the positive effect was, they said that very soon the government or the India will be given power to run their own country. And the Britishers will go away from here. They are not going to stay back. One fine day, they will give us freedom, and the government of India has to look after the affairs of the country. Reorganization of Indian Army. अब जब मैं reorganization of Indian Army बोलूं, हमारे भारतीय जो ब्रिटिश आर्मी में थे वो था हिंदू और मुसलमान. उन्होंने रेजिमेंट बनाया जिसमें पूरे हिंदुओं को एक ही रेजिमेंट में डाला. दूसरे जो रेजिमेंट था वो मुसलमान का. और इस तरह उन्होंने जाति के नाम पे, जात के नाम पे उन्होंने रीऑर्गेनाइजेशन किया और हिंदू और मुसलमानों के बीच में लड़ाई झगड़ा करने का पूरा प्लान बना के रखा है. एंड दे फॉलोड द पॉलिसी ऑफ डिवाइड एंड रूल. उनका पॉलिसी था डिवाइड एंड रूल. So the British Army, the Indians who were recruited in the British Army were turned out to the different regiments based on caste, based on religion, and they followed the policy of divide and rule. Then there's one more positive one was the policy of annexation was given up. जो राजा के पास, जिनके पास अपना बच्चा नहीं था, तो वो राज्य हमेशा अंग्रेज लोग ले जाते थे, वो अपने कब्जे में कर लेते थे. अब वो जो कब्जा करने का जो तरीका था वो उन्होंने रोक दिया. The policy of annexation was given up. अगर वहाँ पे राजा नहीं है तो वो किसी अनाथ को अपने गोद भर सकते हैं और उसे राजा बना सकते हैं. दूसरा है फ्रीडम ऑफ रिलीजन एंड इक्वल ट्रीटमेंट. पहले क्या होता था, क्रिश्चियन मिशनरी आए, उन्होंने लोगों को क्रिस्तीय धर्म पे परिवर्तन लाया. अब क्या बोला है कि उन्होंने बोला है कि अभी ऐसा कोई परिवर्तन होगा नहीं. जो भी आप जाति के हो, जिस जाति के हो उसी जाति के रहोगे और आपको कुछ परिवर्तन लाने की जरूरत नहीं है. Now, what were the other reforms which were introduced by the Britishers? I would like to speak in English. In 1857, universities were established in Kolkata and Madras so that they may impart Western education to the Indians. The Bengal Rent Act 1859 gave right to occupancy to all the cultivators who possessed certain field for more than 12 years. Then the penal code on which the My College Commission had been to work for so many years before they became a law of the land. Penal code was introduced. Thus we could see there was a drastic change when East India Company gave up their rights to the British Crown. Now, what were the negative effects? Now, the negative effects, if you see, increase in racial animosity between Britishers and India. जब अभी नेगेटिव इफेक्ट हम बोलेंगे, ये रिवोल्ट होने के बाद, रिवोल्ट ऑफ 1857 होने के बाद, उन्होंने रेशियल डिस्क्रिमिनेशन किया, जिसमें गोरे लोग हैं वो सुपीरियर है, भारतीय जो थे वो काले लोग थे, उन्हें धुतकारा जाता था. ये एक नेगेटिव इफेक्ट था अपराइजिंग ऑफ 1857. सेटबैक टू सोशल रिफॉर्म्स, कुछ कुछ सोशल रिफॉर्म्स थे, जैसे rapid westernization of India through social reforms. The British, after revolt in 1857, decided to concentrate in providing sound and efficient administration rather than introducing Western ideas and reforms in traditional ancient society. And the third one was the policy of divide and rule. You know, the Indians were divided into Hindus and Muslims, the two caste, the two religion, and they always made policies in such a way that there was a misunderstanding between Hindus and Muslims. You see here, creation and misunderstanding between Hindus and Muslims. They always made a policy in such a way that they created, or they targeted both Hindus and Muslims. And there was a misunderstanding between two religions. And my dear students, even today, we are seeing the same thing again. There is a misunderstanding. That is the reason why there is always a fight between Hindus and Muslims. The seed was sown by the Britishers of divide and rule. Even today, it has been followed by the people. And the next is territorial conquest was replaced by economic loot. Previously, the people, the Britishers, used to go and take away the regions. Now, they have stopped it. Instead of now taking away the regions or the places, started, exploiting people economically. Now we will see what happened, the efforts to win over the confidence of Indians. East India Company, they gave the direct administration to the crown in Parliament. The people of India were assured of the freedom of religion, equal protection of law, equality of opportunities, the of government service. They will not interfere in the rights and customs of Indians. So they wanted to win the confidence of Indians so that they may rule for some more years. The beginning of new era. After the uprising of 1857, it was a new era. The people started thinking. They had a very broad-minded aspects. Like, it is not my religion or it is not my community. It is my country who has to come up. And if my country has to come up, or if I want freedom, I have to send this Britishers out of my country. So that was an awakening among the people. Now, let me give you a brief summary. After the analysis of 1857, it has become known to the historians have expressed different views depending on their perception. Mostly they fall in two categories, namely Europeans and Indians. The former group of historians tried to paint the revolt as sepoys' mutiny, means due to the grievance. The sepoys came together, revolted against the British. But this view is not correct. Some nationalist historians have tried to point the revolt as the first war of India's independence. The other historians have characterized as Hindu-Muslim conspiracy to overthrow British rule out of India. In the discovery of India, Jawaharlal Nehru maintains revolt of 1857 as more than a sepoy mutiny. Dr. S.N. Sen has expressed a similar view. They further said the whole national war of independence means it is somewhere between two views. Although the great shock waves in the heart of the people, the British Crown in England, the British therefore examined the whole administration of India, brought about several changes in it. Among them, the first was the transfer of power from East India Company to the British Crown. They followed abolition of Mughal dynasty of Delhi, reconstruction of army, guaranteeing freedom of religion, equal treatment of Indians, then guaranteeing freedom of religion, then introduction of several reforms. The British tried to do this through Queen's Proclamation of 1858. The revolt of 1857 brought about some positive and negative changes. Among the negative changes were the increase of racial animosity, introduction of divide and rule, and the policy and increase in systematic economic loot of India. Even then, it started a new era in the history of India and the British imperialism. Thus, I conclude this lesson, my dear students. Uprising of 1857 brought new ideologies in the minds of the people. There were a few negative effects, but most of the things were positive. And there was a tremendous change in the point of view of the Indians. It was considered as the first independent war, or the first war of independence. Students, thus I come to an end of this third part. Before I say thank you to you, if you are a new person who is viewing this, kindly subscribe it. If you really like this video, please do like it. And if people are not aware of this channel, please do give me awareness by sending the link. And thank you, and I wish you all the best for your examination.